Hello, welcome to another edition of Food Sack. I am back from my brief Asian sojourn. Yes, I spent some time in Hong Kong and Japan recently. There are some short videos I made there. You can check them out. Anyway, I'm back in Australia and I have some catching up to do. Some places have released some stuff and it looks pretty exciting. While I was away, Hungry Jack's released something called the Bistro Burger. Not to be confused with the Bistro Bolognese burger that McDonald's had at the beginning of the year. This is completely different. This is the Bistro Burger. Sorry, the Bistro Whopper, or the Bistro Jack's fried chicken. It looks pretty good. It's got Swiss cheese on it and it has the peppercorn sauce. I'm excited. I'm going to check that out. And also, yesterday, Hungry Jack's released the Skittles Storm and Shake. These are actually pretty interesting. They're not exactly Skittles, they are inspired by Skittles. That's a very important clarification. They don't actually technically contain Skittles. It's they've fiddled around with Skittles a bit. So it's a Skittles inspired shake. It actually does look like a pretty inspired product. Like they've put some thought into this. I am pretty excited to check this one out. I'm excited to check both of them out, but yeah, the Skittles Storm and Shake does look a lot more interesting. But anyway, I'm going to check both of them out and yeah, see what's up. Anyway, let's check them out.
Hey, Patrona.
Yeah, hi, can I get the Gastro Whopper, please?
Sorry?
The Bistro Whopper, sorry.
Yeah, and a Whopper?
Yeah, and a Whopper, yeah.
Large one with a Coke?
Or not in a meal, sorry, just by itself is fine.
Burger?
Yeah, just a burger.
No worries. Anything else?
Yeah, can I also get a Skittles Storm, please?
Sure.
Yeah.
That was everything?
Yep, that's it.
Awesome. Good to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, sorry, just 1760.
Sweet. Can I get a receipt with that, please?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Bistro Whopper with the Skittles Storm?
Yeah, that's it. Sweet.
A spoon for that as
Oh,
well.
yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Just in case.
Brilliant. Yeah, I'll need it. Thank you very much. Cheers. Wow. All right. Pretty exciting. This it's a bit expensive, but we'll see. Alrighty, I'm back from the drive-thru with my Bistro Whopper and my Skittles inspired Storm. Now, first of all, have a look at this. Look at how well the person has put the ice cream in there. That is actually really well done. That is amazing dexterity on the soft serve machine. Well done. I'm impressed. But what does the Bistro Whopper look like? I will get stuck into that first for obvious reasons, but I'll try to be quick. Anyway, let's have a look. Oh god. Oh, there we go. It yeah, doesn't look like much. But anyway, let's unsheath it and take a closer look at this bad boy. All right, so yeah, we got the bun, tomatoes, lettuce. There's the onions, grilled onions. You can see a little bit of that. And the peppercorn sauce with the Swiss cheese. All right, not bad. And actually, this one is particularly well made. Look at that. That is quite good. Well done. Good job. Anyway, the Whopper is getting colder and the Storm is getting warmer. So let's just get stuck into these. Wow. Oh my god. Once again, the wettest burgers around. Look at that. Dripping. My god, there's a lot of grilled onion. A lot of grilled onion. Oh, god. If you like grilled onions, then you are in luck. This is essentially a grilled onion burger. All I can taste, all I'm experiencing is the grilled onion. Wow. It's overtaken the flavor of the peppercorn sauce, which is surprising. That's quite strong. I can't taste the Swiss cheese. All I'm tasting is the grilled onion. Now, as Zach Brannigan once said, it is built like a steakhouse,
but she handles like a bistro.
But yeah, this is just an overwhelming amount of onions. If you really like onions, then that's fantastic. But I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of onions. This may make me sound un-Australian, but I don't even get grilled onions in my Bunnings snag. I'm not a big fan. So I'm not a very big fan of this burger, to be honest. Jeez. The onions do make it a bit more watery as well. So once again, we're dealing with a classic Hungry Jack's wet burger. Yeah, and that was actually quite expensive. My complete bill was $7 something, and this was $11.50 something. I can't actually read the receipt there. The ink has kind of faded. Can't read that at all. But yeah, $11 something. It's kind of a bit too expensive, sorry. I'm not a big fan of that. If you like onions, you'd probably love it, but anyway, what is the Skittles Storm? Sorry, the Skittles inspired Storm. Like, let's have a look now. This has been sitting for a little bit, but anyway, let's check it out. Boom. This is interesting. Well, now, firstly, you can smell the sweetness, and it's that, you know, artificial red sort of citrusy sort of flavor. They haven't just plopped in a handful of Skittles into a Storm. As has been noted, a frozen Skittle is actually incredibly hard, rock hard. So they've replaced it with gummies. That's why they're Skittles inspired, not an actual Skittles Storm. Two things happening. First of all, this is very, very tasty. I do like this. It is a bit sour, very sweet, but a little bit sour, which works really well with the creaminess of the soft serve. The more I'm eating, the more I enjoy this. They have at least two syrups in there, a yellow and a red. Yeah, this is quite good. There's like a reservoir down the bottom. I don't know, I wonder if they have just a sort of bucket of these gummies and sauce that they put into the Storm. That's actually really good. I have to say though, it doesn't immediately bring Skittles to mind. Even the flavor, like, I don't know, it's been a while since I've had Skittles. They don't taste exactly like Skittles to me. Maybe it's the ice cream and the syrup sort of throwing me off. For me, Skittles, I always think of that hard shellac sort of surface. So without that, they just don't seem to have the essence of Skittles to me. This is just like a citrusy sort of gummy Storm, but it is quite good. Actually very nice. Whoa, look at that. Yum. And I have to say, hats off to Hungry Jack's for innovating in the dessert area. There's this, which, as I said, they haven't just plopped Skittles into ice cream and called it a day. They've like engineered something new here. They've put some gummies in there and the syrup to kind of recreate this kind of impression of Skittles rather than Skittles in the Storm, which I think is interesting. I think it's interesting. They also had the Warheads Bursties, which again, really quite interesting, quite good. The Nutella Storm, they could have just dumped Nutella in a Storm and left it there. But they did a little bit more than that. They added the wafer biscuits on top, which really elevated it. Same with the Cosmic Storm. So they had the Space Shake and the Cosmic Storm. It was the same thing, but the Cosmic Storm did have the popping candies on top. Now that was meant to compete with the Grimace Shake, and I think it was a little bit better than the Grimace Shake because it had the addition of the popping candy. So yeah, you know, Hungry Jack's, they have been innovating in desserts quite a bit. The French toast fingers, again, another really good innovation. Not dessert, but, you know, a sweet breakfast treat. Their burgers, on the other hand, are a little bit boring, a little bit lazy. It does seem they have stopped naming things after places in America. That was getting a bit old. Perhaps they ran out of places. They just, like, couldn't think of any more. So that's why we've got this Bistro Whopper, not the, you know, the Idaho Whopper or something, the Wyoming burger. But as a burger, there's not a lot of innovation there happening at all. They've just, yeah, put on a whole bunch of grilled onions, like a whole bunch of grilled onions. Probably an entire onion's worth of onion on that Bistro Whopper. So anyway, it's great to be back home. I enjoyed my adventures overseas. Like I said, I did add some shorts. I didn't really have a lot of time to do like these fully produced videos. I didn't have a car, first of all. I couldn't like sit in a car privately and enjoy my meals in secret. So I had to, you know, walk around train stations and say what was happening. Anyway, I have more catching up to do, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of this, but don't know about that Bistro Whopper. Anyway, I'll catch you all later. Cheers.